What is your favorite thing someone's ever told you?
Someone said my car slaps harder than my mom's pancakes.
The best thing somebody's ever told me was, a wise man can't play fool, but a fool can't play wise. Unless you judge me by my cover, you can read between my lines.
While you're busy watching the next man is beating you to the next man.
Hard work beats talent and talent doesn't work hard. So when I was on an Instagram Live of Chad Michael Murray, I told him that I loved him. And he said, I love you too, Kayla. And that was the greatest moment of my life. I could die happy.
Probably that you're not that short.
My favorite thing that someone's ever said to me would probably be that they were surprised I wasn't famous by now, which I mean I kind of agree with. So.
One time I got to meet one of the writers of La La Land and Dear Evan Hansen and Greatest Showman, one of the musical writers, and I also got to meet his wife because they actually were from Kansas City, and they both told me good luck on getting into the colleges that I wanted to because we were talking about college, and I felt like I had some luck from that or something. I don't know.
Thanks.
Would you not like to have that dream belly? If you are willing to achieve this dream, then first of all, you need to quit eating the crap that you are a big fan of.
The mini fast is so different than a regular fast because you can actually eat.
Step 2, portion control. When eating out at a restaurant, cut your meal in half and ask for a takeout container to save the rest for later.
Nowadays, thousands of people are puzzling over how to get rid of extra weight. In fact, it might be an underestimation, as many more people suffer from obesity in the modern world.
Ever since I was in 5th grade, I knew that I was a little bit bigger than some of my classmates. And so ever since then, the way I saw myself and my confidence just went down. People would put me in group chats and just call me a ton of names and call me fat, just in different ways of saying it and ugly. So I kind of just kept it all in to myself because I had no way of telling this person oh, I don't like the way you're treating me, just because I was so shy and felt so ashamed of the way I looked. I developed an eating disorder, and I would intermittently starve myself, but not fully. I would eat very little, and I would count my calories obsessively, counting the calories of a piece of gum I would chew. It's in every media, newspapers, magazines, everything, TV, music. I mean, it's just a thing for people to be smaller and to be toned and stuff like that. You see those magazines that are saying oh, this person has the worst bikini body, this person has the best one, and the best one is really, really skinny and trim. And so I think that just gets ingrained in our minds forever. I think people are just realizing, hey, this isn't okay anymore, and kind of progressing in that sense that some of these things that we've been doing for ages are wrong. I mean, I've learned how to cope with it and learned how to kind of realize that what other people think of me and how I look, it really doesn't matter. Hey, the way I'm treating my body isn't okay, and the way I'm treating myself and what I'm feeding to myself and how I'm working that off, it's not right and it's not okay and it needs to stop.
A few weeks ago, I was approached by the Black Student Union, and they wanted to create a video that would start a serious conversation about race at BVN.
We brought in a few black students to see if they would agree or disagree to a statement and to explain their answers.
During Black History Month, I don't remember any of my teachers saying anything or us learning about anything.
They never
did. Yeah, me neither.
Okay. Black people are united.
I feel like light skins are more appreciated and at a higher raise than dark skins, but I feel like every skin of black, texture black, should be appreciated the same way.
White people can say the N-word in songs. Just go all the way.
Go to the BVN Broadcast YouTube channel if you want to see the whole thing.
Hey BVN, I'm Matt Scowcroft, and we are approaching the end of the 2018-2019 school year. Let's see what BVN students have to say about this academic year.
So, people try too hard, people sleep a lot, it's not good.
Way too much homework, which I assume you're going to be getting a lot of complaints about.
Having a mic shoved in my face, that's a pretty bad part of the school year.
Okay, so the school year at North kind of sucks because like every other day the bathrooms are either like clogged or there's like a heck ton of toilet paper in the bathrooms, and children here at North don't know how to flush the toilet or aim. The aim sucks. Like every time I go to the bathroom, I leave with my shit. Okay, we get it. Mr. Blue Sky, tell us why you had to hide away for so long.
Hey, so I just came back from doing some interviews with students, asking them basically how their school year was. They all were miserable. I kind of was thinking, why are they miserable? My guess is because teachers throughout our entire lives have been giving us advice, So I'm thinking the bad advice that they're giving us, because it's not working, so it's bad, was on purpose.
That sounds like a stretch.
No, I don't think so. I can't. Why would they give us such terrible advice? Unless if it was to trick us or get us in bad situations.
I really don't think teachers are giving us bad advice on purpose. I mean, is that your point here?
Yes.
So what are you gonna do?
I think we need to, you and me, you're in this with me, okay, us two. Why am I? We need to go to the teachers and ask them why the advice is so awful. Let's go, let's do this.
All right, buddy, if you're gonna use the walkie-talkies, then I am involved now, all right? So we are gonna go do this, and I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Let's go. We're gonna be honest with you, a lot of students at BVN feel like the advice that teachers give to them is wrong. Because in the past, we feel like, well, teachers have lied to us. How can we trust you that you're not lying to us right now?
Wow, that's kind of a hard question. I'm kind of gobsmacked by that because I feel like I don't lie to my students.
That's what a liar would say. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mr. Brelover. Can I call you Jeff? Jeff? I graduated in a week.
You haven't graduated
We
yet?
think that teachers are lying to us.
About what?
We? Or I do.
Clearly, okay, about what?
Advice. We think that they're trying to sabotage us, and I think that's a fair statement. Wouldn't you agree?
So why would you feel like we're trying to sabotage you? Why would you feel that way?
Okay, well this goes back to middle school at LMS. You're aware of LMS. I had a bunch of teachers that just blatantly lied to me.
In what way?
They lied. They gave advice that just was fake. Yeah, it was like malicious almost.
I just find that.
Okay, maybe not malicious, but we're trying to figure out why they did this. Why did they set us up so poorly?
Guess, right? If when you graduate, you all of a sudden feel this deep connection to calling me Jeff, right, adult to adult.
Oh yeah.
I suggest you get your butt over to LMS and go, hey, whoever. I felt like some of the advice you gave me was a little bit borderline. I would choose a different word, maybe than malicious, but maybe flawed.
That's a good idea. I like that.
You know what? You know, I think that's a good idea.
That's what we're gonna
I think
do.
we can finally settle this once and for all.
What's the matter with your hair? Oh yeah. Hey.
First thing we got for you. A lot of kids are going into a major transition period in their life, going to college, leaving home. Tell me a little bit about some of the struggles that you had when you left high school and you were going into your first year away from home.
I didn't get to see my parents for months at a time. I also played college football, so that was kind of a stressor on me too. So I just got by, had some good friends, had a lot of fun. It was probably a pretty carefree time for me.
It was difficult. I'm not gonna lie. It was all of a sudden, you know, I come from a really small town. You know, all my friends are there, and next thing you know, I'm at a student body of 26,000 students.
Yeah, okay, can we go backwards for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so I was in this classroom, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, 8th grader, and you gave advice to all of us that in theory was supposed to give us an amazing experience in high school, but I think we all hated it.
Y'all hated high school?
Yeah. Didn't like it, disliked it.
Okay,
it could have been better.
Could have been better. Sure.
Yeah, so why'd you do that?
I figured, you know, what can I do to mess with Matt, you know, kind of thing. And like, hey, what kind of advice can I give just to kind of mess with him and say, you know, what can I do to, you know, mess with his social life, his expectations, his academics, that sort of thing, you know. Just figured I'd go with that.
So you were out to get us?
No, just you. Just you.
Just me?
Yes, just you. So
that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Our problem then. Okay, so when you tell 8th graders advice, like before high school, lots of kids say that advice was bad. Like they say their 8th grade teachers gave them awful advice and they had an awful time in high school. How can we know that you weren't trying to do like a malicious action or something bad towards the kids?
Malicious action.
A malicious
Well, I've
intent.
told many kids, make sure you don't act like Matt Scowcroft when you get to high school.
You know, it's interesting.
No.
Cordell told us the same thing.
yeah.
He told us something very similar.
We try to guide you into the right thing. As an 8th grader, no one believes what we have to say.
Well, BVN, it looks like teachers were out to get some of us this entire time. Perhaps consider who you are and where you are. This may seem like the end, but it's only the beginning for all of us.
Oh, make me over. I'm all I wanna be. I walk and study. Etymology. Hey, so that you can make it. Yeah, now you already made it. Yeah, so that you can make it now. Oh, look at my face.
What are you guys doing? The BVN handbook said teacher advice is always correct. This is strike 2. There better not be a strike 3.
Brummer, to vape or not to vape? That debate is fierce.
A new study worries that e-cigarettes are a gateway to addiction.
The FDA wants regulations, specifically with regard to flavored varietals that have helped propel the explosion in the use among the young.
You see it, it's a growing trend among teens, and it's also a health concern for many school administrators. Locally, they're seeing more kids doing it.
What is a family and emergency room doctor, and Tom Scabelli, a blogger at Barstool Sports, who affectionately goes by the name Tommy Smokes.
What's up?
I first heard about vaping when I was a freshman, and these things called box mods were really popular, and people would do tricks with them.
In middle school, I think 7th or 8th grade, I had friends that were older than me that started getting vapes.
First heard about vaping in 8th grade, and it was just kind of like everyone knew about it, but it was more so just like pens and stuff.
My friend actually got a box mod and I got to use hers, and at the time it was like very low nicotine, probably like 3% to 0.
And also 8th grade, I started using other vapes that actually had like heavy amounts of nicotine in them, like Juuls.
You can buy them really easily online with your credit card, or you can just buy a Visa debit card with your money because there's no ID on those. I just use my debit card and I would order it online.
From my own mom, from my friends that are older than me that can buy them online, and then there's also some stores that just really don't care and will sell to you even if they know you're underage.
99% of the time it's online, a couple times from friends.
I think when schools induct a punishment if kids were to get caught, the only way that kids look at it is, oh, I better not get caught. I don't think it really changes anything though.
At first it did. I just stopped bringing it, and then I stopped caring after 3 days and started bringing it again.
All they did was just add more restrictions, like rules, like punishment, but they didn't enforce them in any way.
No, I'm still vaping.
Here at North, students have already started to make a change by attending events related to mental health, such as the Speak Up Walk.
We all have to work to be a part of the change to make BVN a more safe place to learn and grow. We are all important and we are all loved.
Please stay.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. Mix. Guys, strawberry.
John Adams?
Yes. No, it's not. It's Samuel Adams.
This is BVN football. Graham, throw me the rock.